Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Vicky. I hope you consider subscribing and sticking around. We're a household of 4 living in the San Francisco Bay Area, and in today's video we're going to be going over our 2021 annual expenses or annual budget, as well as talking about an emergency fund. So I hope you stick around. All right, well, let's just go in and get into the numbers. What I did was I actually wrote out every single number, averaged it out, took months that had 5 weeks for things that I either budget weekly for, where like groceries, I budget weekly for, and therefore on months that have 5 weeks, I would have to put in extra money. So I factored all of that in and took an average of some of those, and we're going to go through line by line and talk through this. The other thing that I'd like to do is kind of interweave an emergency fund discussion. And so we are still in baby step 2. We're still in debt. We still have student loans, but we still believe in saving for an emergency fund and a higher emergency fund than $1,000 that's recommended by Dave Ramsey. We're not Dave Ramsey purists, as you will see, but I think it's important. The other thing to note is we have had Murphys along our debt-free journey. We started in March of 2017, and I've been laid off a couple times in that journey. We've had to cash flow multiple things for the home. We've moved. We've done a lot. And so this is really helpful because if push comes to shove, this is not our bare bones budget, but I can cut drastically and know we'll be okay. And so I just wanted to go through that with you. All right, having said that, our mortgage is $3,686. We live in a higher cost of living in part of probably the most expensive area in California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. So 3 months would be $11,022 for 6 months, and for a yearly total of $44,000. I hope that's not confusing that I have the yearly totals first, but it just made sense in my spreadsheet. ACI is our trash, and that comes in at roughly $71.68. This is paid every 3 months quarterly, so it's around $215.04 quarterly. Therefore, if we were to save 6 months, it's $430 and a yearly total of $860. Next is our water bill. Our water bill is billed to us every 2 months on average. I actually put aside $85, but it does average out to $47.73 a month. For 3 months, it's $143, and 6 months, it's $286. The yearly total is $572. All right, PG&E, that is, for those of you that don't live in the San Francisco Bay Area, that is our Pacific Gas and Electric. So it is gas and electricity combined. I roughly do $500 a month just because there's some months where we're running our AC and some months where we're running the heater. And since we're all home, I'm just factoring in the ebbs and flows of life. So 3 months, 6 months, so a total of $6,000 for the year. So childcare. While we all are at home, we have a little one, and so my mom helps us, and this is how much childcare is a year. So we break it down: $1,000 for the month, $3,200 3 months, $6,500 for 6 months. I don't know. I think it's because I pay her weekly that it came out to some weird funky number, but I'm just giving you the round numbers to make it easy. This is our housekeeper. I probably shouldn't even put her name out here, but she helps me out tremendously for my sanity. She gets $240 a week. I did factor in Christmas gifts into that and birthday, so it is an average of $280 a month. And then 3 months, it's $840, 6 months, it's $1680, so a total of $3360. Same with our gardener. Because I factored in Christmas, we do have $86.67 for a monthly average, And then 3 months is $260 and 6 months is $520 for a total of $1,040. The gym, even though it's closed, I want to factor it in, and the yearly total is $348. My husband has had this membership forever, so it is $29, which to me seems pretty low, and that's why we keep it. State Farm. So State Farm, I get this question a lot, and this encompasses 9 different policies. So it's our 2 life insurance, 2 cars, 3 properties, and then 2 rental plans. That just mean, you know, when you have a renter in there, if God forbid they did anything, it's a separate policy than a homeowner's insurance plan. So with that, it is for average $490 a month. 3 months is $1,470. 6 months is $2,940 for a yearly total of $5,880. I highlighted this in pink just because it's one of my favorite colors, but it is our only debt that we have left, and so the monthly is $350.20. 3 months is $1,050. 6 months is $2,101.20. So a yearly total of $4,202. Comcast is our cable. Again, if God forbid, I keep doing that. If God forbid something like that happened, we would, you know, cancel cable, right? Like if something happened. But for now, on average, it's $135.80 per month, $407.40, $814.81 with a total of $1,629. Vivint alarm and devices. So we do have Vivint for our security. We did add in the devices. So these are the totals for the month, 3 months, 6 months. So this is the total for both things. It's $1,046. And if you don't know how to use Excel or Google Sheets, you just highlight the 2, and down here on the right, it sums it up for you. So that's where I'm getting that from. All right. Next is Netflix. I really don't use Netflix, but I think my children do. So monthly is $13.99. 3 months is $41.97. 6 months is $83.94 for a total of $167.88. And this too, when we first started our debt-free journey, I canceled all the subscriptions I didn't even know I was paying for, but Netflix I did have, and so I kept. AT&T wireless, this is my cell phone and this is my husband's cell phone. That's a whole other conversation why we have 2 carriers, but these are our monthly totals, 3 months, 6 months, and this is the total amount for the year. The next one is Apple Storage, just because I have a lot of photos and things of that nature. It's $2.99 a month. For 3 months, it's $8.97. For 6 months, it's $17.94 for a total of $35.88. Not bad. I currently am doing Weight Watchers. If you haven't followed me, I've lost about 40 pounds since January of 2020 when I began. So for me and accountability, it's totally worth it. Not a sponsored topic, but it is something that I love. So a month, it's $19.95. I do the online only. $59 for 3 months, $119 for 6. So a yearly total of $239.40. Real estate. So I am a licensed real estate realtor, and I pay $190 for my dues, which consist of giving me access to my local MLS and other things, as well as classes, continuing education. For 3 months, it's $570. For 6 months, it's $1140, and for a yearly total of $2,280. Groceries. So these next 5 categories are really where I feel like we can determine where we can shave things from the budget. And so we have an average on average because it's by week. Some months it's 600, some months it's 750. So on average, just as an average, it's 650 a month. 3 months it's 1950. 6 months it's 3,900. I mean, obviously, if something were to happen, we would go bare bones and do a pantry challenge and a freezer challenge. but just an annual look is $7,800 for groceries. For dining out, again, if something were to happen, we just cut this out completely, but for dining out, on average, $260 a month. 3 months is $780. 6 months is $1,560 with a yearly total of $3,120. And again, for months where there's 5 weeks, there's been added monies to that, as well as gas. Gas, same thing. Weekly numbers factored in for weeks with, or for months with 5 weeks, and we have on average $108.33, $325 for 3 months, $650 for 6 months, with a yearly total of $1,300. Unexpected, I did break this out just because we do spend money unexpectedly, and so I just wanted a category for that. But again, bare bones, we'd take it out. And then electronic sinking funds, we're saving about $1,050 per month. 6 months is $3,150. 6 months is $6,300, with a total of $12,600 for the year, which seems like a lot, but sinking funds has really helped us in our budget debt-free journey. So that's a whole other conversation. So yearly totals. The total, I know this sounds crazy, but again, we're in California. Our yearly annual expenses are $115,145.51. For 1 month, it's $95.95, basically 96. 100. 3 months is 28,000, call it 29,000. And for 6 months, it's 58,000. When we're at a baby step 2, I would definitely like to get to a 6-month emergency fund, if not to a yearly emergency fund. So with that, I want to know, have you done something like this? It was really helpful and enlightening to me when I was inspired by others who were doing this, and I thought, you know, I should do it too. I keep track of all my numbers monthly anyway, and it was really eye-opening, and I think that's going to really be helpful, and it gives us something to work towards, you know, knowing that once we're done with baby step 2, that we can get to this number to fund our emergency fund. That would be awesome. But with that, I've already talked my ear off. If you stuck around this long, I'd really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up, if you consider subscribing and joining our journey, and if you take a look at the video that's suggested. Thanks a lot and have a great day. See you in the next one. Bye.